What's going on? Came across this video I wanted to check out. It's from Jason Whitlock Clips. It says Mavericks committed treason against Luka Doncic. Now, this is a subject that's come up before on my channel. And people with this Dallas Mavericks Luka Doncic trade kill me, especially with all these conspiracy theories and shit. You know, like the owners wanting to build a casino, wanting to move to Las Vegas, all this, just all these conspiracy theories in regards to why the Mavericks traded Luka Doncic. Man, there's nothing complicated about it. Luka Doncic is fat. I guess he's a good player. Like I said, this is NBA basketball. It's not real basketball. So that's the reason why he gets off. He does a lot of carrying, does a lot of traveling. His moves really are basic as fuck. Just nobody has pride and nobody plays defense in the NBA. So he gets these weak ass bullshit moves off. He's not a winner. He's not mentally tough. He has bad habits off the court. The only reason why he went to the finals, people always talk about he took the Mavericks to the finals. No, he didn't do shit with the Mavericks until Kyrie Irving came. And he wasn't going to do shit with the Mavericks until Kyrie Irving came. And people have Kyrie Irving fucked up, acting like he's not a big part of the reason why the Cavaliers, LeBron won his only title with the Cavaliers, and why the Mavericks weren't really good enough to get to the finals until they added Kyrie to that team with Luka Doncic. So people really have Kyrie Irving fucked up, the real MVP of the 2016 NBA Finals. And the reason why the Cavaliers won and pulled one off against the Golden State Warriors. And the same when he played with the Mavericks. He's the reason why they went to the finals. Yeah, Luka Doncic is good, I guess, but he's not leading anybody to the promised land. Like I said, when I saw him play in the FIBA World Cup a few years ago, they played against Greece in the championship. He didn't even fucking show up. And Greece beat the shit out of them, actually. And when I saw that, I said, damn, Slovenia. I posted that on Facebook. That's a fact. Because I couldn't believe how they were losing in the championship. So I saw all I needed to see right there in regards to Luka Doncic. And all these little points he scores and shit like that. Somebody put some real defense on him and really want to stop him like the Celtics did back in, what was that, late February, maybe it was early March. Or even like the Brooklyn Nets did the game after that. Man, Luka Doncic wouldn't be shit, really. And if this was the 90s, like I said, 80s, 90s, 2000s, Luka Doncic would be Tony Kukoc, Peja Stojakovic. The fuck out of here. And the Mavericks traded Luka Doncic because they weren't going to pay him $300+ million to be fat, out of shape, not care about himself, and then finesse them out of money just like Joel Embiid has done, Paul George has done, a lot of players have done in the past few years. The Mavericks weren't going to do that. They didn't even want to pay Jalen Brunson, so they let him go to the Knicks. You got him on camera drinking beer, smoking hookah, all kind of shit that he's not even caring about being discreet about. Yeah, Michael Finley take a beer from him last playoffs when they won the Eastern Conference Finals. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Why are you drinking a beer? You see there's a camera right there on you. You just don't even care. I'm pretty sure Michael Finley and the Mavericks know that he drinks beer and they don't care. There's nothing wrong with drinking beer after a game, as long as you're not abusing it and you're not doing it in front of a fucking camera. That's why Michael Finley took the beer from me, and that's why they like, man, this nigga's tripping, bro. We not about to pay him all this money, and he's gonna fucking be fat, like I said, and that's going to lead to a major injury. He's already got knickknacks. That's going to lead to a major injury. And then we're in the whole 300 something million for motherfucker who really can't give us anything and really can't lead us to the ultimate victory, which is the NBA championship. And then again, a lot of it has to do with, of course, LeBron James and clutch sports. Because how he ends up just playing with LeBron James out of everybody is crazy. And Luka Doncic is happy in LA. Yeah, he was doing all that crying and shit the other day when he played in Dallas and all that shit. Yeah, that's cool. But Luka Doncic didn't want to be there. And Luka Doncic is happy he's in Los Angeles. But I just think it's crazy again that somehow, some way, this motherfucker ends up playing with LeBron James. That's the only thing that baffles me. I'm not surprised, though, that they traded him.
Rockets took on the Dallas Mavericks and destroyed them. This has sparked something in Jay Williams, the ESPN broadcaster, former Duke star, NBA player that had his career damaged by injury. Here is Jay Williams on Twitter, I believe, yesterday. Dallas didn't trade Luka. They straight up committed basketball treason. Gifted him to LeBron like a donation. Now he's back, dropping 45, 8, and 6, getting MVP chance in their own building. That's not just self-sabotage. That's a generational implosion. Scap, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me on, Jason. Always a pleasure to be here. And shout out to Jay Williams. It must be a Jay thing because I've actually shockingly been seeing eye to eye with Jay Williams for the last week now or so. He's been making a lot of damn sense over there at the ESPN mothership. If he's not careful, he's going to find himself out of a job swiftly because he's making so much sense. And that
Man, shut your lame, corny ass up. Nigga, that's Jay Williams. Yeah, his NBA career was cut short, but Jay Williams was a damn good basketball player and one of the best college basketball players ever. And had a high basketball IQ, so when Jay Williams speaks, he knows what he's talking about. So nobody give a fuck about seeing eye to eye with you, motherfucker. Who are you? Where the fuck did you play? What the fuck do you really know about basketball? Yeah, you're probably a fan. That's all that is cool. But you don't know shit about basketball, man. Motherfuckers like this can only give you numbers and shit. It's like I got motherfuckers in my comments talking about Nikola Jokic he averages 2 steals or whatever the fuck, however many steals he averaged on the season. I know how many steals he averaged, motherfucker. And I don't care. That's why I didn't point out his steals. What I'm talking about in regards to Nikola Jokic is his defense. It fucking sucks. Give a fuck about them weak ass steals. He doesn't need to steal the ball. He's the center. He needs to be deterring people from driving, being a rim protector, and blocking some shots. I don't give a fuck if block shots don't directly translate to turnovers. So what, nigga? We need our center to protect the rim, to deter people from driving to this motherfucker and just thinking they gonna score and finish in the paint or down low. And a lot of those fucking steals are just being in the right place at the right time and the ball just ending up in your hand. It ain't like he's just playing great passing lanes or playing great one-on-one defense. Same with Luka Doncic. So I don't even want to get on Nikola Jokic too much, but what I'm saying is, we need to see better one-on-one defense from him, rim protection, and blocking some fucking shots at the center position, almost 7 foot. Give a fuck about him stealing ball. That's what we have guards for on the perimeter. That's their job. That's how I know you motherfuckers. And that was what I'm saying about this motherfucker. You motherfuckers don't know anything about basketball. You're just going off of numbers. Some of those steals probably just this motherfucker, stupid motherfuckers on the other team throwing a dumbass pass or doing something dumb, and then the ball just ends up in your hand. And I don't give a fuck about all those advanced numbers and shit. If I can't actually see it on the floor, get the fuck out of here with those stupid ass numbers, nigga. I don't see him playing any defense on the floor, just like anybody else. And that ties back to this motherfucker. Motherfuckers don't know what they talk. They just regurgitate numbers and shit. And yeah, you're giving us what you see, but you don't know what you're talking about. You really don't feel or understand what you see because you never been through it before. So all them numbers and shit is cool, and your understanding of what you see is cool and all that. But I don't respect that shit or feel that shit. You ain't never fucking played. Fuck out of here, boy. And you ain't no real journalist that's really putting in the work to understand the shit. Bitch ass, punk ass, cornball ass motherfucker. So Jay Williams nobody give a fuck about motherfuckers seeing eye to somebody like Jay Williams, or we're seeing eye to eye. Fuck out of here. And then Jason Whitlock got this clown on his show saying some weird shit like that. Fuck out of here. Fuck are you?
Or doesn't like to hear those kinds of things. But I mean, this was a disgraceful move 2 months ago. The move that shocked the basketball world when the Dallas Mavericks, Nico Harrison, their general manager over there, ownership, for whatever reason, lost their minds and traded an absolute generational star in Luka Doncic, who Jason at the time was only 25. He's now 26 years old. He has been dealing with injuries this season, and there's
what is generational about Luka Doncic, man? What is it because he scored? He doesn't play any fucking defense. I guess he's a good rebounder. Man, whatever, man. To me, he isn't some great rebounder, man. I'm sorry. He'll get you like 7 to 10 on a given night. But those are really like, man, his stats are just empty stats. I'm sorry, man. His points, rebounds, and assists, they're just empty, man. And yeah, he's good and fun to watch during the regular season. But man, what is so generational about Luka Doncic, man? In a league where you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like I said, he does a lot of carrying and traveling and shit. What is it? Because he makes some tough shots sometimes. And like I said, he's scoring the ball a lot. Because he has the ultimate green light in the league where coaches don't give a fuck or have any power. It's like, what the fuck? And if you just apply a little bit of pressure on this motherfucker, he really ain't no good at all. He really does a lot of his scoring in the first half of games. In the last 2 quarters, he really doesn't do all that fucking scoring like he does. And like I said, his scoring really doesn't translate to winning. Like I said, and the same thing with I can relate to those steals that Nikola Jokic averaged. That shit doesn't mean shit. Even if he is getting 2 steals, which it doesn't matter, but even if he is getting 2 steals, that shit ain't translating to them winning or anything. So those steals have no value and mean nothing. Same with Luka Doncic's point production and all this shit. That shit doesn't mean anything. He's not fucking winning anything, and he's not even a fucking leader. So what the fuck is so generational about Luka Doncic, man? The fuck out of here with that shit. This motherfucker is a good player to me. Like I said, the only reason why he's getting all this shit off is because the NBA is not real basketball, man. Like I said before, if this was real basketball and playing under real rules and circumstances and not getting to do all this illegal shit, man, this motherfucker would be Peja Stojakovic, like I said, Tony Kukoc. Good players. But everybody looking at them like they a generational talent. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Some fat, what is he, Slavic or some shit? Fat, smoking hookah, drinking beer and shit. Laboring, can barely run up, and they can't even sprint up the court. This nigga has never sprinted in his life. Fuck Fuck out of here. With them weak ass, corny ass passes he makes. That same little dribble this way, step back, dribble the other way, step back, pull up jumper. That's all he does. The motherfuckers can't stop this shit. No, it's just the league is trash. That's why he's a generational talent in today's game. This shit's trash. Fuck out of here.
Much made of his shape and conditioning throughout his first 5 years in Dallas. But I mean, he's typically playing.
Shape and conditioning, always a problem. And he ain't doing nothing but getting older. That's why Dallas let him go, man. And he's doing nothing to maintain great shape and conditioning. He's doing all the shit that takes away from it and negates it. Like drinking beer and shit and smoking hookah. Ain't no telling what else he's smoking. Yeah, sitting here saying it himself. Saying it yourself. And look at Jason Whitlock fat ass drinking Kool-Aid and shit. Sitting here saying it himself though. Oh, his conditioning and weight has been an issue ever since he's been in the league. Motherfucker ain't getting no younger. Not paying this motherfucker $300-some-odd million, man. And if LeBron wants to team up again with somebody so bad, I guess this is what the Mavericks are thinking. If LeBron wants to team up with somebody again so bad, here, let them have Luka. We'll take Anthony Davis. They probably got some money under the table. Ain't no telling what else was going on with that deal. And I don't think Nico Harrison had anything to do with it. I think he's just the motherfucker because he's the GM. That's who they blame. I don't think that was his decision. I think it was ownership's decision. Because they not about to pay this motherfucker all that money. And the owner even said his weight and his motivation and his dedication was a problem. He's already said that. He's quoted saying something like that. That's a fact. So it's the ownership, wasn't Nico Harrison, that wanted to make that decision.
60 in the mid 60s to low 70s in terms of games played throughout the course of his career until this season, where he's going to hit around 50 games. And he's been first team All NBA every year of his career, Jason, until this season.
Something Carmelo Anthony can't say. I've been first team All NBA. No, you haven't, motherfucker. You've been second team twice and third team 4 times, motherfucker. You've been third team more than you've been second team. Fuck out of here, Carmelo Anthony. And all them Carmelo Anthony dick riders. Luka Doncic has been on the Luka Doncic has been first team All NBA 5 more times than Carmelo Anthony. And Carmelo Anthony's actually a better player than Luka Doncic. But Carmelo Anthony just wanted to shoot the ball a lot. He didn't want to do anything else. So he fucked himself over. But did you hear that? That just made me think about that, man.
After his rookie season. So basically his rookie season and then this season, which has been derailed by injuries. Other than that, 5 first-team All-NBA selections for this guy. To say he's generational is actually underselling it. He's 4th all-time in career box plus minus right now. He has the 3rd highest career.
4th all-time in career box plus minus. Well, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. And then he said 4th. I can see if he said 2nd or 1st. I don't even know what that means, but he's 4th. And get the fuck out of here with that stat. I'm thinking he about to say some shit like in scoring or rebounding, you know, assists. He's this, and this nigga said plus minus box. Man, shut that shit up. That's that shit I'm talking about. Fuck out of here.
Their scoring average behind only Michael Jordan and Will Chamberlain. He's 2nd in playoff scoring points per game behind only Michael Jordan. Here's a little trivia question for you and your audience.
And ain't none of that shit meant anything. So now he getting to some real stats. And ain't none of that shit meant anything. Hasn't won a goddamn thing. And wasn't going to go to the finals, like I said, if Kyrie Irving wasn't in the picture. So all these points and shit like that. When Michael Jordan was scoring points, he was striving towards winning a championship. And you can tell that was his main goal. And you know that was his focus. He wasn't just saying it. You can see that was his focus. And he was good in the process. That's why Michael Jordan is considered the GOAT. It's not because of what he did, but how he did it. A lot of motherfuckers these days don't have the mentality or the mental toughness to get the job done. So all those points and shit are cool. Yippity doo dah, motherfucker. But when is it gonna translate into winning and winning a championship? Because if it's not gonna translate to winning a championship, doesn't mean anything. The fuck out of here. There's a standard that's been set. This is that new shit.
Jason, the only two players ever to score at least 30 points per game in their playoff careers, that would be Michael Jordan and Luka Doncic. And they trade that guy for Anthony Davis and one first-round draft pick, essentially. Pathetic, disgraceful. Jay Williams, I mean, that's a good terminology.
For a player like Anthony Davis, maybe they could have got more. But for a player like Anthony Davis, I think it's an even trade. Both of the motherfuckers were injured at the time they got traded, weren't playing. Anthony Davis has an NBA championship. And the Lakers wouldn't have won that championship without him. Or Dwight Howard. Had nothing to do with LeBron James. So for a motherfucker who's only been in the league 5 years, that was an even trade in my opinion. Maybe they could have got a little bit more, and maybe they did under the table, like I said earlier. But shut the fuck up, man. And everybody's saying that shit, man. Yeah, Anthony Davis fucked up, man.
I used it in a video I published last night, like 3 a.m. Treason. Basketball treason. And the Dallas Mavericks, as a result, well, they're in the 10 seed. They're probably heading into the play-in and an elimination. And that first...
That ain't make sense. Treason. Basketball treason. What? You motherfuckers know what treason means? What's basketball treason? Shut the fuck up. Yeah, Jay Williams, too. He need to shut his ass up, too, even though I fuck with Jay Williams.
And the Lakers, meanwhile, Jason, have gone from a perennial play-in contender themselves to maybe arguably the best team in the Western Conference, all because of Luka Doncic. Thanks for nothing, Nico Harrison and the Dallas Mavericks.
I don't think Nico Harrison had anything to do with that. But get the fuck out of here with this Lakers is possibly the best team in the Western Conference. No, the fuck they're not. They had a cool little win streak once Luka Doncic got back on with the team. And then after that, once all that shit fizzled out, they were back to being mediocre. With Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Stop with that shit. Number 2, the Rockets through, 6th place? Number 2 through 6, they all down there are the same team, have the same record. There's nothing different. There's no difference between them. They haven't separated themselves from each other at all. The only team that separated themselves and is the best team in the West is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Get the fuck out of here with that Lakers shit. Please. Niggas are mediocre at best and are not going to the finals or going to win a championship. The fuck out of here. Probably won't even make it out the first round, honestly.
Well, you say thanks for nothing, Nico Harrison and the Dallas Mavericks. I think.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, man, Nico Harrison, I don't think this is the decision he wanted to make. It was ownership. But he's the fall guy for it, I guess. But like I said, ownership has their reasons. They're not going to, and those reasons are in regards to not wanting to pay Luka Doncic $300 and something plus $1 million.
That's a tiny bit of an easy way out. And what's going to get Jay Williams in trouble is so passionately calling out like, hey.
Yeah, I agree. Blaming Nico Harrison is an easy way out. I agree with fat ass Jason Whitlock on that. And I don't agree with him at all much. But it's definitely and that's why he's the fall guy. Because it's easy to blame him and he's an easy scapegoat.
Man, this is insanity. And I don't think, and again, the more he draws attention to it and how insane it is, I think it's less easy for people to accept, like, this is Nico Harrison. This has to be the league and wanting LeBron James to have a playoff run, and there are other people that believe that again the Dallas Mavericks are trying to leverage their way. The what's her name? Adelson. I can't think of her last name. Miriam Adelson, I think maybe. But trying to leverage their way into a casino and new arena. I think blaming Nico is an easy way out, and that's why people would prefer, and Jay Williams could get in trouble. If he keeps drawing attention to the insanity of this trade, people are going to put on their tinfoil hats like me and say, this ain't Nico. Anybody with a brain, my mother wouldn't have made this trade, let alone some guy that actually knows basketball.
Now, I agree that Nico is an easy scapegoat and easy to blame in this situation. But yes, it was definitely ownership not wanting to pay Luka Doncic. But why it was the Lakers, I guess it only made sense because they had Anthony Davis. It's the only one that made sense that they could even trade for, man. Honestly, who else in the league were they going to trade and get for Luka Doncic? Anthony Davis was the best option. But just so happens he plays with LeBron James and the Lakers, man. So I think there was a reason why he went to the Lakers, and that's to, of course, help and assist LeBron. Why else? And for the Lakers' future, to have him in the future, of course. So maybe he would have went to the Lakers anyway, but this is a little premature to help LeBron. But yeah, man. I believe they really wanted to trade. I don't believe it's just because it's just to help LeBron. I mean, I don't think it's that deep. But I believe it was okay, well, we really want to get rid of his ass anyway, so shit, let's make a deal. Because we don't really want him. And I know you guys are desperate for LeBron to get help yet again from an all-NBA talent. So let's make a deal. I think that's how it is, man. Or that's how it went. So I think ownership definitely wanted to get rid of Luka Doncic because they didn't want to pay him, didn't trust him with 340 some plus or just $300+ million. And I don't think that's a deal that's ever been made before. That would have been the highest. He'd have been the highest paid, I think, after that. That would have been the highest contract ever, I think. And the Lakers needed help. So they made it make sense.
Some smoke there. Obviously, the league would have had to given something to the Dallas Mavericks, because when you're trading this guy away in his mid-20s, he's obviously a massive moneymaker for the franchise. So there has to be some bigger, better carrot that's being dangled over their head in order to authorize Nico Harrison to make this move. And then, of course, Nico Harrison was positioned perfectly to leverage his individual relationship with Rob Pelinka, the Lakers general manager. Remember, these two guys have about a 20-year friendship, Pelinka and Harrison, because they were both on Team Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, yeah. See, I didn't even know that. So Rob Pelinka and Nico Harrison are fucking friends, basically. See, I mean, it all makes sense. I don't think it's as deep as everybody's trying to make it, bro. Oh, yeah, y'all want some help? Y'all need, LeBron need help again? Well, we'll take Anthony Davis off your hands. There's nothing wrong with him. Y'all just don't know what the fuck y'all doing with him. And LeBron's reluctant to stop shooting the goddamn ball so much and shit and then put the ball in Anthony Davis's hands. But we'll take him. And we don't want to give Luka Doncic all this money, just like we didn't want to give Jalen Brunson a bunch of fucking money. So, yeah, let's make a deal. Plain and simple, nigga. Yeah, Luka's fat. And he be on some bullshit off the court. So if y'all can get him right, cool. And if LeBron wants to play with him so much, and if he needs help yet again in his GOAT career, he needs help yet again to get over the hump when he really should be fucking retired. Shouldn't even be fucking playing anymore. then let's make a fucking deal. That's all it was, man.
Dating back to the early 2000s, Nico Harrison was Kobe Bryant's Nike rep, and Pelinka was Kobe Bryant's agent at the time. So these guys traveled the world together for, years, decade or more with their families and so forth. So really, it was just so well positioned for that kind of a trade to be made between those two. But Jason, who knows? I can't speculate on the financials or what the league might have authorized the Dallas Mavericks to make this move. I think, if anything, we see with the Denver move and what they're doing with their head coach and front office, idiocy is just running rampant in the NBA today. Maybe, Jason, maybe the Clutch Sports, LeBron James, the NBA offices have this elaborate scheme to get Luka Doncic there to give the self-proclaimed king LeBron one final run at an NBA championship. Or maybe, just maybe, the Dallas Maverick ownership are a bunch of idiots like the ones that are running the Denver Nuggets right now. I really can't decide which it is.
I'm not willing to go there, and I'm really not. This is like, you know what this trade is? I'll give it to you. I'll give you and I'll give you an analogy. Building 7 committing suicide on 9/11. You'll never convince me that building just fell because it looked over and said, the Twin Towers. I'm so distraught. Let me commit suicide. Or debris or whatever they said took that down. I'm just sorry, I can't go there. And so I can't go there that Nico Harrison thought this was a good deal. I can't do it. And you mentioned
I don't think he thought it was a good deal either, but he had to make the deal. I don't think he wanted to do it either, but it's not his decision. At the end of the day, ultimately it's ownership's decision. So I agree with him there. But again, he just mentioned how Nico Harrison and Rob Pelinka were friends. So who else was he going to make the deal with? It's like, man, this nigga was destined to go to the Lakers. I just think it was a little bit soon to help LeBron. And then again, the Mavericks did not want to pay Luka Doncic all that money. So it just made sense for them to make a deal.
The Denver Nuggets and firing Michael Malone. And that has somehow sparked rumors that Nikola Jokic may want to exit Denver and could somehow end up with the Lakers. But so anyway, before we get to that part, let's just address.
A little cornball. He was all happy, grinning and shit. Man, if Nikola Jokic gets to the Lakers, especially if LeBron James is still on the team, what the fuck is going on, man? And they still gonna be trash, Nikola Jokic and Luka Doncic. Nigga, they still gonna be trash. They ain't gonna win shit. Fuck out of here. But still, like, come on, man. Nikola Jokic to the Lakers. It's like, man, the NBA is funny, man. And I guess they do cater to the Lakers, man. But yeah. But then again, man, Chris Paul was supposed to play with Kobe Bryant a long time ago, man. And they revoked that trade, so maybe it is all for LeBron, man. But that's crazy, man, if he ends up really playing for the Lakers. Nikola Jokic ends up really playing for the Lakers, especially if LeBron is still there, to help this motherfucker get over the hump and get a championship and take all the credit yet again. Or claim he's the fucking GOAT. It doesn't even matter at this point if he wins another championship. He is not the fucking GOAT, and that's not going to do anything for his argument or his legacy. I'm sorry.
Michael Malone, I think 2 years ago, won the NBA title and has this team in title or playoff contention this year without really a number 2 to Nikola Jokic. How does he get fired? What is it? Maybe here's.
Man, we know how he got fired, man. So we ain't even about to get into that. But yeah, man. This Luka Doncic trade, man. Motherfuckers need to get over that shit, man. Fuck that trade. Fuck Luka Doncic. He plays for the Lakers now. He wanted to play for the Lakers. It was going to happen eventually. It just happened. In my opinion, it happened early to help LeBron. And I don't really think there's more to it other than like he just said, which I just learned in watching this video. Rob Pelinka and Nico Harrison were friends. They both had something that they could offer to each other. It made sense to make a deal, man. Plain and simple. But I think ownership didn't want Luka Doncic there anymore. Well, upon having to pay him a max contract, they weren't going to pay him a max contract. And that's why they went on ahead and got rid of him. And fuck out of here. Luka Doncic is not a generational talent. He's a good player. He's not a generational talent. He's done nothing generational. The fuck? I don't give a fuck about those numbers and how close they are to Jordan and all that shit. He's not winning. He's not doing anything but getting his ass beat in the playoffs. And if it wasn't for Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic would have never got to the finals last year. So I'm tired of him getting all the credit for them going to the finals. But yeah, man. It's not a conspiracy. There's nothing more to it outside of Luka Doncic was fat, out of shape, not taking care of himself, getting knick-knack injuries. And the Dallas Mavericks cut the cancer before it got worse. And they had to pay him money. And then he finessed them out of $300+ million. Because that's the name of the game in today's NBA. Finessing.